What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon White. In the last episode, we finally made it through Chargestone Cave, confronted N once again on our way out, and we made it to Mistralton City, where we met up with Cedric Juniper, Professor Juniper's father, as well as Skyla, the gym leader of Mistralton City. However, she has gone off to the Celestial Tower to take care of what she thinks is a sick Pokemon at the top of it. So we need to go out and meet her over there, not unlike what we had to do with Jasmine, actually, back in Generation 2. We had to, go get to the top of Lighthouse, then bring her some medicine, all that good stuff. We're kind of doing something similar this time around. However, well, you'll see. You'll see. We're just going to be heading on through this route, battling trainers as we go. Oh, bold enough to come and talk to me, are you? You're quite the trainer. I like you. Take this TM, and we get TM 57 Charge Beam. When Pokemon uses Charge Beam, sometimes the special attack goes up. If you're lucky, the power will just keep going up. Well, this is an electrical type move. It is a special attack, and it has an accuracy of 90 and a base power of 50. Can you guess who's going to benefit from this move a lot? Now, you can see that Naz is also able to learn it, which is interesting, but it is certainly better than something like Electro Ball, for instance, and Electro Web, in fact, is going to be replaced here relatively soon. So let's teach Charge Beam to you, and now Shelob can do a whole lot more damage. But let's start battling some trainers as we go through this route. Now, I said before that Route 7, or at some point we're going to be running into an area where we're going to be running through a lot of Dino, and I'm going to just be trying to get my team on the same page. This is the route where I'm going to be doing that, but I need to go through Celestial Tower first, because Celestial Tower is the location of where our next team member is going to be caught. And I don't feel bad about saying that, because that's going to probably happen in this episode. We don't have a whole lot of trainers to get through. We certainly don't have to get through the entirety of Route 7 in this episode before we get there, because Celestial Tower is kind of smack dab in the middle of the whole route. So, in fact, we can't even proceed through this entire route. So we got Mirror Move. This is a oddly flying type move. I've never understood why it was flying type, because it doesn't... I mean, I guess it's just a Pokemon, a move that only flying types can learn, so I guess that's the main reason for it, but it is a move that essentially allows a Pokemon to go second and then mimic the exact move that was used on it on the turn before. So we're back to using Super Repels as we go through here. There is one new Pokemon that can be got in this area, and we'll be talking about that in just a second. So let me battle this guy. This new Pokemon isn't really anything to write home about, and not only that, it only can be caught in the winter time. So we literally don't even have access to it at the moment. So let's just make our way through this battle. And you know what? In fact, I think I'll just talk about it while I'm doing this battle. So we'll go over that really quickly and then, yeah, move on from there. So let's talk about Cubchoo. Cubchoo is an Ice-type Pokemon that can only be found in the winter that evolves into Beartic at level 37. It has good offensive stats, decent defensive stats, and a poor speed stat, with a very interesting range of moves accessible to it, such as Icicle Crash, Superpower, and even Aqua Jet when we're talking about the sequel game. The range of TMs it can also learn is very big, but the niche it fills isn't really anything all that special. I mean, it hits sorta hard, and it can take some hits, all being kind of slow, and personally, I would just rather have a Vanillite on my team. I guess if you don't want to be patient, it can put some work in as a solid Ice type, but there's actually an even better, even easier to obtain Ice type you can get not too long from now that's even better. And there we are, some good experience for both Naz and Shelob as we get through that. Let's grab ourselves this Ultra Ball here. We still got a couple more trainers to get through in this area. I guess one more in this particular area, and then a couple more as we proceed up the route. This route does also have one of those houses that you can go to and get some heals at for free, which is kind of awesome. And I think there's also like a trainer in there that we can trade with as well. But I don't believe we can actually go past that house. There is a point where the game is going to stop us, because we are supposed to go back to Mistralton City before we go any further, because obviously continuing all the way to the end of this route is going to take us on to the next area, or at least towards the next area. We still got a couple of stop gaps along the way, but down goes Dwebble. Very, very good. And then we got Simisage. Okay, this should be enough to push Naz to level 35, I think, which is awesome, because he has not been getting a lot of... Oh, I thought that was going to be a one-shot, but not quite. I can't wait for him to learn his next flying-type move, which is even stronger than Air Cutter, and it's also more accurate. Actually, I think it's also 95%, now that I think about it, but a lot better, so that's going to be awesome. Maybe he'll actually learn it at this level. Let's see. No, not quite. I was hopeful, but fortunately, it doesn't work that way. Anyway, let's continue this direction. And like the lady said, there is a walkway here. As long as you don't jump off of it on either side, you should be good. But as you can see, you can just kind of hop down right there and continue. This I do not think is the healing house. This is something else. I love the Pokemon moves Mega Drain and Giga Drain. Your opponent's HP is reduced and the user's HP increases. Kid, have you caught any Boldor? If you would you trade your Boldor for my Emolga? Well, no, I don't have any Boldor to trade you, but you can do that at least. I was hoping that lady would give us Giga Drain because I would very much like to have that on my Superior in place of Leaf Tornado, but whatever. Now let's continue. So got one more patch of grass and another real walkway to get over before we head on into the next area. All right, Elmer. Liepard, Swoopbat, and Watchog. Okay, so actually, I'm a little surprised. I forgot. I thought all triple battles you had to talk to the trainer to initiate, but it looks like that's not the case this time. Interesting. Okay, well, let's start off with a Reflect here. That is definitely going to be the play to start things off. I'm going to use Rollout on Swoobat here, and then I'm going to use Leaf Blade on Liepard. So let's get all these things off in sequence. Luckily, Liepard did not use Fake Out there, which I will take. Get that Reflect, so now I guess it doesn't benefit Arthur, but that's okay. And Amnesia, well, that shouldn't save it from Rollout too much. So, and then there's an Assurance, so I don't know why you wouldn't use that on... I guess that was Liepard's doing, never mind. So, Rollout time, here we go. Let's start by doing damage to you. Definitely one more of those and you're done for. Let's use Psybeam on you. I will use Strength on you. And I think the only thing that's going to be alive at the end of this turn is Watchog. I doubt it's going to go down in one shot to Psybeam unless I get a crit here. But luckily, Crush and Naz in tandem should both be able to take that Watchog out, no problem. There we go. Air Slash. Oh, that is the move I cannot wait to get for Naz. Hyper Fang. Oof, those are some brutal moves. Critical hit. Oh, that sucks. Gosh dang it. Well, there's another rollout. Gosh dang it. That's brutal. Was not expecting that. Gonna have to probably use a revive now. Well, I guess we'll put Shelob out here in front, which is okay. She's strong enough now where she can hold her own a little bit here. Why don't I use just Electro Web, make you a little bit slower, and then I can't really use anything on you, so I guess I'll just waste a turn with Coil. There we go. I guess I could shift, but I'm not gonna bother because Crush already has that rollout going, so I would like to see him just take this thing out, if possible. Don't critical hit, please. Thank you. Electro Web. Good damage. Lowered that speed. And Crush. Let's finish this thing off. Because now it's doing a base power of 90, which is more than enough. There we go. That's what I like to see. Perfect. Or actually, I think at that point it was 120, isn't it? Because it's doubled every turn, if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's start using some heals here really quickly. So I've got 21 revives to throw around, so I don't really feel too bad about using all these. Using as many as I need to. Let's see. Do I only have lemonades now? I do still have super potions. I guess I could use those. So let's just top everybody off with that. And then Naz. Just want to get through the rest of these before I start relying more on my lemonades. All right, you're next. Couple more trainers to go. And then we'll make our way into the Celestial Tower where I can finally talk about the new Pokemon that we can get in there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right, Naz. You're up. Let's go back to doing lots of damage here. I think level 36 is where he learns his next signature flying move. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's when it is. And that was a really, really easy one-shot there. Okay, so do I need this out for anything? I don't think I do. We got a couple of Pokemon Rangers here, which obviously these ones are more pack and grass types and the like, which should be very easy for Naz to deal with, but I am not going to want to use Naz in the upcoming area in Celestial Tower itself for reasons that you will see as soon as we get in there, in case it wasn't already obvious as to what that place is at this point. Given the many hints that we've gotten before, Celestial Tower is a haven for ghost-type Pokemon. And, yeah, don't want to throw Naz out against those. Okay, we got Simipour next. I am going to actually try to use Shelob on this thing. I know it's probably going to hit back really hard, but if I can get an Electro Web off here, maybe two, we should be able to take this thing out no problem. We do have the speed advantage. Oh, we don't. Well, the Electro Web should make sure that we do, at least. So let me get your speed down, if possible. Yeah, Joltik's fast, but it's not that fast. You know what I mean? So another one of those, and down you should go. I'm not going to use Charge Beam here. And down goes Semaphore. Nice. Lots of experience for Shelob there. Level 33. And next is Tranquil. Let's just keep you out. Why not? I know it can use like flying moves and the like, but another Electro Web. Oh, Detect. You and your Detects. Can't wait until we get access to move like Faint to get rid of that, but I don't think that's until for another generation or two. I don't know. Is that in Generation 5? I actually can't remember. But get you down with Taunt, or get you down with Electro Web, and then get hit by a Taunt, which just means all I have to do is use Electro Web again. And down you go. Good job, Shelob. You're starting to hold your own, and I appreciate it. And you haven't even evolved yet. Everybody is actually kind of already almost on the same page, so my Audino farming really shouldn't be all that difficult. I probably only need to take on like a handful of them between the next Pokemon we're about to get and Shelob herself, and I'm going to do all I can to avoid actually evolving Shelob before we get on into the next gym. And of course, unless she evolves in Celestial Tower, which I don't think is going to happen, but it would be cool. So next we got Solosis. Okay. Really defensive Pokemon here. But I can handle it. I can handle it, no problem. Let me start off with an Air Cutter. Take you down. I know we're getting sort of close to the end of this episode, but I think we should be fine. Not Future Sight. Well, let me just take you out before that has a possibility of actually doing anything super damaging. So there we go. And what is your next one? Your next one is Axew. Oh, my goodness. I was not expecting to see this Pokemon already, but look at that. Oh, I love Axew. What a cute Pokemon. So Axew. So it doesn't look like this Pokemon has the better of its two abilities. Otherwise, it would have said so as soon as it came into the fight. Axew is a very good Pokemon. It's one of the earliest Dragon types you can find in the game. That's why I wanted to keep Naz out, was for the Future Sight. It's one of the very first Dragon types you can come across, and it also evolves into one of the best Dragon types in the history of Pokemon. And I wish that was hyperbole, but it is not. It is a freaking awesome Pokemon, and I'm a huge fan of it. The only problem with Axew is that it has two abilities, one of which is not good at all. It's actually a very bad ability to have, and the other one is incredible. So it looked like that one didn't have it, because otherwise it would have actually mentioned it as soon as it came into the fight. So let me throw I guess I'll just use a Hyper Potion this time. I've got so many of them, it's not really going to be a huge issue. And I'm going to go out and outright buy these as soon as I start getting rid of all my Super Potions and Lemonades here soon. So let's continue. And I guess, oh, hold on, there's an item over here. I want to grab this. We got ourselves a Max Ether. Thank you. That house to my immediate right is the one where you can actually heal your Pokemon at. So, hold on. We have Rustling Grass. Let me hit that really quick, too. And it was a frickin' Amalga. How disappointing. All right, into Celestial Tower we go. Now, as soon as we get in here, there are two new Pokemon that can be found in this area, although I believe not so much on the first floor. You have to go up to the next floor to start running into them. So let's go over Litwick and Elgyem. Litwick is a Ghost and Fire-type Pokemon that evolves into Lampent at level 41, and again into Chandelure when exposed to a Duskstone. This thing has good defenses, great speed, an insanely powerful 145 base special attack stat, and is probably the single best special sweeper in the entirety of Generation 5. I'm not kidding. This thing is disgustingly good. It's just not the easiest to get your hands on, and you have to have a fair amount of patience when evolving it, something you probably shouldn't do until level 53, so you can gain access to Shadow Ball without a need of a TM, or possibly even level 69 if you really want Overheat. But wow, is this a phenomenal Pokemon, and one that you're going to see a ridiculous amount of use out of in the later part of this game. If you're looking for negatives here, I guess its 5 weaknesses might be a bit troublesome, but the fact that you'll be one-shotting most things you come across with this Pokemon's insane power should negate any fears that you have. If you're looking for a ridiculously powerful sweeper at this point in the game, get yourself one of these. Just make sure you understand how difficult it is to get. Elgyem is a Psychic-type Pokemon that evolves into Beheeyem at level 42, adding yet another solid, slow-moving Psychic-type onto the long list of those types of Pokemon in this game. If you haven't picked up Mana or Solosis up to this point, this Pokemon does the same job almost just as well. Its 40 speed stat is nicely offset by its 125 base special attack stat, easily the most appealing part of this Pokemon family. However, its overall defenses don't really hold up as well as Musharna, Gothitelle, or Rhea Nicholas. The most appealing thing about this Pokemon Pokemon is the vast range of TMs it can learn, outclassing the other Psychic types in some ways. But if you wanted a solid Psychic type on your team, you really would be kind of silly to wait this long to get one. Behem is just not exceptional enough to replace any of them, especially if you're playing White version, where you'd be silly not to just grab a Solosis as soon as possible. And with all that in mind, let's continue and start talking to people. They say when you ring the bell at the top of the tower, it pleases the resting spirits. What do you have to say, sir? Celestial Tower, where Pokemon are laid to rest. Yes, indeed, we have ourselves the place where you're going to be running into lots and lots of ghost Pokemon, although specifically Litwick is the star of the show here. And Litwick is the Pokemon that I am going to be adding to my team. Right off the bat, we run into a Litwick, although not... I don't know. We'll see if we can get the Litwick that I particularly want, but it is probably going to take some time because I'm going to be extremely picky about the nature for this thing. So I'm going to get to catching these over and over and over again until eventually we come out with one that I want, and then we will proceed from there. But... guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon White. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode very much. In the next episode, I will be showing off my freshly caught Litwick, which hopefully will have the ability that I need on this thing. So, yeah, I hope you're all looking forward to that, and I will see you all in the next one.